the more people like it, why the more people want it, why the more people buy it than many other TV. Well, the tubes are connected to the chassis connected to the picture tube's connected to the tuning dial connected to the cabinet, and the name goes on right here. Dependable, you know, that name's reliable, you know, that name means quality in every TV set.
Yes, year after year, RCA Victor quality has been steadily improved by the experience and know-how that come with building more than 10 million sets. Starting here in the Cherry Hill Laboratories near Camden, New Jersey, RCA Victor continues to raise quality standards for the television industry. Here are some of the reasons why. With RCA Victor, quality is more than a philosophy, a way of thinking. It's a way of working, and it begins on a research and design drawing board. At RCA Victor Research and Development Laboratories, research engineers and advanced designers work together in the pursuit of quality. Electronic engineers continually probe into the future. Their only guideposts are ideas as to where sound and picture reproduction may be improved. These are the men who unlock the secrets of improved performance or find practical answers for improving quality. As these men work, one of their first steps is to build prototypes. Before being used, a new component is taken to the component's development and test laboratories. Here it receives exhaustive tests by RCA Victor's own staff of testing engineers before it is put into production. Transformers, for instance, are passed only if their insulation will withstand 5 times the voltage they will carry in normal operation. An average capacitor must be able to withstand at least twice its rated voltage and is also tested to measure stability under various temperature changes. All switches, relays, and bearings are mechanically tested to make sure that they are able to withstand the equivalent of up to 10 years' wear. Before manufacturing, prototype coils are handmade and then subjected to exhaustive tests. Some components are even tested under steam pressure to simulate extreme heat and humidity, and then electrically retested. Only after proving conclusively that they can function effectively under conditions far worse than those they will be subjected to in the average home are electrical components okayed for production. While basic electrical components are being designed and tested, tuners are being developed and improved upon in a special laboratory. Much of this highly specialized work takes place inside individual cages designed to screen out electrical interference. The operating characteristics of prototype tuners are carefully studied to make certain that they meet the high standards established by RCA Victor. Simultaneously, the Product Development Division searches for designs that reflect tastes and trends from all over the world. Hand in hand with styling design is the selection of quality materials to assure lasting beauty. Wood samples from all over the world are carefully considered. Hardware and fittings are selected carefully to complement the basic design. Colors and finish types are selected from a wide range of samples. Again, all these materials undergo initial testing to make sure they are able to withstand normal wear and still retain their beauty. Samples are put into freezing chests for a period of a half hour or more, then immediately put into a heat oven for a similar period, after which they are closely inspected for any tendency to shrink, warp, or swell. paints, and plastics are examined under ultraviolet lights to check their characteristics and make sure that they will retain full color and luster. When all components have passed quality tests, the go-ahead is given to build a prototype cabinet. In RCA Victor's own cabinet shop, skilled cabinet makers now help to bring to reality a handmade prototype. Finally, after the test finish is applied and is hand rubbed, the completed cabinet is ready to be tested as a unit. And even though each part has been individually quality tested, they are again tested to make sure that they do not lose any of their quality characteristics when assembled with other components. In the mechanical laboratory, the chassis prototype is assembled with all of its component parts. Once the chassis is assembled, it is sent into an electrical laboratory where engineers make elaborate tests to check out all its circuitry, aided by test pictures and patterns, originating from this room in the Cherry Hill laboratories. It operates much the same as any television station. However, by using a closed circuit, engineers can simulate conditions such as distance. They can also create their own interference so that they can be sure that a quality picture will be produced even under adverse conditions. When prototype cabinets and chassis have been checked individually, they are assembled as a unit. Then they are placed in a special echo-proofed chamber to study sound characteristics. Sound systems and speakers are thoroughly tested. A moving microphone picks up the sound at varying angles. The sound is measured by sensitive instruments to scientifically assure that each sound system comes up to RCA Victor's high standards. RCA Victor insists that every set produced meets or exceeds underwriters' laboratory listing requirements. This assures high safety standards against fire or electrical hazards. In Medford, New Jersey, RCA has established, at a cost of almost $150,000, a special field testing laboratory to carefully test all RCA Victor receivers to see that they comply with FCC requirements. It has long been known that an instrument, such as a television receiver, could, if not properly shielded, produce picture interference in other nearby sets due to signals being fed back into the air by the receiver. Engineering models and prototypes of sets are brought to this laboratory and checked to guide RCA Victor engineers in developing circuits that keep such interferences well within the required limits. Special equipment is used that can measure signal field strength in terms of millions of volts. RCA engineers not only develop the techniques and standards used in these tests and measurements, they actually use them to develop sets with built-in quality long before FCC requirements were enacted as a law. When components have passed all tests, specifications are released to RCA Victor manufacturing plants and selected suppliers who have shown they can meet RCA Victor's rigid quality standards.